Okay.
Because
Yep. So before our technical difficulties, the last thing that I heard you say was everybody is talking about what their rights are. And that's the last thing I heard you say, is that the people are focused on what their rights are.
and then I said, but nobody's talking about what their responsibilities are.
Uh-huh.
Or you could even say,
Can you give me an example of, yeah, it reminds me of JFK. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country.
so yeah.
So people are thinking about their rights. These are
Yeah.
the things that I deserve and that I should be getting and demanding them, and that nobody's asking what it is their responsibilities are. Give me some ideas of responsibilities. I think I can work out, what people think they have the right to. What
But
responsibilities are you talking about?
of a human being is to engage the intelligence that one has to properly manage society, to properly distribute and utilize resources, to properly take care of this planet and one another. As the so-called superior species on this planet, we're supposed to be the protectors and the guardians of this planet, not the
Stewart.
what do you call it? Not the colonizers and overlords of this planet, try and suck it dry like a parasite. We're supposed to
Yeah.
be serving. We're supposed to be the ones serving the whole of the creation in various ways according to our various capacities. And this particular age is characterized by a shift away
Shift away from.
from that idea that we're meant to serve and that this life is temporary and that we are here and we're supposed to actually give. And therefore, there's so many different cultures. For just as an example, where recognition of ancestors are very important because you're actually recognizing where you're getting this body from, you're recognizing where you're getting your resources from, and people are not doing that anymore. That's just like one example where we see like many where this tradition is very lost. People not acknowledging where they come from and why they have what they have. Just the very body that you have is coming from a blood lineage, and certain lineages, they have after generations and generations invested a lot of energy into, you could say, upgrading that bloodline. And then if you are born fortunate enough to be born into such a lineage where you have more resources available to you, then you should first acknowledge where that comes from, that this is actually because of the hard work of your ancestors that you have this. And then secondly, you should be thinking, how can I properly utilize what I have for service of all creation, for the better good of all creation? Yeah.
I agree with you. This is the time of people are self-focused, and their vision is, we know how to fight for for me. I know how to, negotiate with those around me what I need and what I want and where I'm going. And we have our decision making is, what's best for me, and then what's best for my family, and so on from there. And really being able to actually have a view of, when we start asking ourselves questions, like the Native Indians used to not make decisions. They would think not what's best for us and what's a temporary good idea. They would always think in 7 generations. So if we make this decision, what effect is it going to have for the next 7 generations? And they would think that out. And if it wasn't a good return, then they didn't do it. And we don't think like that. We think of, because we believe in lack and that there's not enough of everything, and that so therefore everybody has to fight for their little bit, is when we start thinking of, when we don't have to fight for anything, when we realize that we're whole and complete in ourselves, and I don't need a whole lot of things outside of me, possessions and power, then we can trade that in for, okay, now I can make decisions on what's best for the entire world. Making decisions is best for everybody. Making decisions that are best for your nation, making decisions that are best for your community, and making decisions that are best for your family are the decisions that are best for you. And it
Exactly.
is a shift
All of that.
from what we used to be doing.
Yes.
So yeah, I do like that idea immensely. And this is the time of that. It's the being lack focused, and therefore I need to fight for me, or being abundance focused, and that we need to start thinking of everybody.
Right.
Does that bring anything else? Any other thoughts for you before we sign off?
I think that that emphasis on thinking in a mentality of how one can serve is very powerful, and that when one
Yes.
thinks about the continuation of life after this present form of it passes, then this is one thing that you can actually carry with you beyond death, is this consciousness that you've generated in this life, and you're gonna
Yes.
have to, you're gonna take the responsibility of that consciousness with, and you can enjoy it or you're gonna suffer it, or a mixture of the two. So if you've spent your life in service and uplifting the whole of creation, yourself and your family and everything beyond your, outside of you, then in turn you're going to find that you'll be in a destination which is more favorable, and also you'll be in a situation where spiritual realization can come easier. So,
Mm. The
yeah,
world is more aligned with you. I
yeah,
look forward to actually living in a world where people are looking to serve more of the whole and less of themselves and their ego needs. I really look forward to being in a world where more people are thinking that way. So that's what I'm putting forward is our future,
that's what we.
and starting to look that way. I'm excited about that actually.
Right, great.
Thank you very much, Briat.
Oh,
I think we did, around 20 some minutes. Sorry, everybody. This one's going to be in two parts, but we had technical difficulties.
mm,
Once again, thank you, Briat, for everything, and actually coming and speaking with me actually is really useful to me.
mm,
And thank you for everything.
yeah, thank you also. I appreciate that. Okay,
Love and light, my
see
friend.
you tomorrow. Haribo.